So I'm excited about this new change happening in my life. I'm excited that I'm about to make a very important move for myself and for my son, and just to put myself in a better place where I can have that structure and support that I need. And yes, it is a difficult decision because I have moved quite a lot in my life, but I know now that it is time for me to really be in a place where I can actually grow and advance and not just be stunted, in my growth. And I do understand where, we can come to like this place in our lives where the things that we thought was working for us is no longer working. And sometimes it's hard to have this type of conversation because if you're so used to something, then when it's time for you to break away from it, it's almost like a war zone. Like it's hard for you to break away. It's hard for you to just let it go. Although you see the scars on your hand, although you see that there is no progress, that there is no type of change, and it's like you're going like deeper inside this pit of sorrow because nothing's not working. Nothing is not even giving any type of fruit to your life. Like you're just coming up short each and every time. So yesterday I had this conversation with my mom and just talking about the direction I want to go in with my life and just coming to like this important, I would say, revelation that I can't no longer go after like this low hanging fruit in my life. And what I mean by low hanging fruit, I'm talking about the opportunities, the environments, even the people that are not really fitted for where I'm going. Now, I'm not saying that like in an arrogant way, but we know that sometimes, for us, like if you're so scared to advance, so scared to go to the next level, it's like you go back to what you know. And you have all this experience, all this education, all these ideas, but yet you still settle for the lower things in life. Like you still settle for the things that it's just beneath you at this point. And like I said, it's not to say it with arrogance, but I just say it this way. It's like a person who goes after entry level job and stay at the entry level job for like 10, 15, 20 years. And you would have thought that, hey, after maybe I say about 2 or 3 or maybe 5 years, they will advance a different position. But they got so comfortable in that position that they just stay there. And the crazy thing about that is that they got so comfortable with it that even though they complain, even though they are getting irritated, even though they know that they are really done with that type of position, they know they need to grow, they won't do anything to get out of it because it's like a mind thing. It's like you start to believe that that's where you belong, that that's where you need to be. And I also had to learn this is that I gotta get society out of my ear. I can't sit here and just believe everything that goes out there. I get it. All of us have our life experiences. All of us have dealt with certain things, and it's nothing wrong with sharing your story, sharing your journey. But one thing I don't want to do is make my experience like Bible, like this is the standard and this is how things gonna be. I said, no, that's not how it is. I may struggle in one area trying to do something that another person can excel in, or I may excel in the area that one person may have failed in. But it doesn't mean that what I did was the true way. It just, mean that, we have different approaches to things. And, it just gets me thinking about the times where I had accepted positions, I had made decisions where I know that I needed to advance, I knew that I needed to change, I knew I needed to go to a different level, but I chose those type of places and opportunities because I was too scared to just step out and to actually be, who I really am. I was scared of what people would say about a person that I guess just have more than one talent. You're just multi-talented. Like you can do a lot of things, scared of what people may think if I really start to, just step into, that position that God wants me to be in. And I know we try to consider everybody's opinions and things, but at some point you gotta learn how to shut that off.